Will you say a little more about how once we made that space and we moved through trauma, we've moved out of it, we've moved, I'd say through it instead of past it.
Mhm.
How are you supporting people to call in this like next phase of their life, this next beautiful chapter for themselves?
So the first question I always ask private clients is, how much sleep are you getting? I believe everybody needs a lot of sleep, 8 or more hours a night. You
Like,
know, I really do, because
right.
whatever they're struggling with, I want to see what the struggles are on sleep. So I do very short sessions, only 30 minutes, usually once a week. Some people 45. But that's my first question, and then I'll ask about water intake, um, and what are the things that you love to do. That's where I start.
Starting with the
Um,
basics, the fundamentals there.
right. I mean, life is too short to do stuff we don't enjoy and that we don't
Great.
love doing. And your gift is going to be something you enjoy. Like,
Amazing.
you're gonna love doing it. It's like, you know, like play.
It's your play, it's your game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And this resonates with me in the Four Gardens approach I'm developing because I start with health. Health is first, nature, creativity, service. So I take people through that too. And I like how just fundamentally, it's very much like tending a garden. Like, are you watering your garden enough? If someone asks me about their garden has a problem, are you watering it? Um, you talk about sleep, fundamentals. How's the soil in your garden? Things like that. It's just why we're getting into advanced technical things when the fundamentals aren't being met, and the plants themselves, your body itself, if it's well tended, will be resilient. They want to be, it wants to live and it wants to grow. And so, yeah, this is really clicking with me too of this. I like that you start with those simple elements.
And the body wants to move. That
Body.
is the one thing that happens. The breath moves until we're gone. The heart pumps until we're gone. Life is movement. And if we can just let ourselves stay in that movement and let go of inertia and keep moving. But it's true. You gotta be watered and slept and fed well, to move well too. Right.
Completely agree. And for me, dance, I was writing down what are the practices that are multiple gardens for me. What are the things that I do that check all these boxes, that do dance is like, and really this moving of the body consciously in a meditation is way up there for me, along with a few key ones are just cooking is one for me too, has become one. And I guess I would include all this in meditation, but there's some things that really just can do it all. And I feel like dance is one of those things because my emotions, my body, my health, it is an exercise. It's not what we're focused on in this conversation, but if you're out there dancing, you're exercising. You're connecting with other human beings and getting connection. You're moving them. We talked a lot about emotions. You're working on emotions. We think about spirit of nature as well. I see nature and spirit together. Of Sweat Your Prayers. That's Gabriel Roth's book, the creator of Five Rhythms. There's a prayer happening and ceremony happening in the dance too. Um, there's service to others. You embody that in your work. There's creativity, of course, happening. I would say, like, you were talking before about how well, I was linking to something you said, but I guess it's a little different. My experience of it being a meditation, both when I'm doing seated meditation and when I'm dancing, that's when my mind throws the fanciest, most exciting ideas at me. Like it really wants me to to chase off on, some kind of, but I get so much creative downloads from dance. I was going to say, like, for me, creativity really comes through with that too. So yeah, thanks for letting me debrief some of those garden. Yeah. I wonder how that if you have anything to add to that too, of like impacts that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a creative opening for me as well, um, because I think all of those places where we're stuck get opened up, and then everything starts to move, then like that next gift to the world can come through. It's like the faucet gets turned on, and the mud kind of gets moved out, and there's now just amazing amounts of downloads that happen. So yeah, totally. It is all of those things. It's nourishing. Movement is nourishing for us. It's service for others, at least done in the way that we do it. Um, it helps us grow. So moving, my practices would be moving, meditation. My meditation is happening all the time now when I'm gardening, when I'm cooking. um, just am I in my feet? Am I down in my body? Am I in my hands when I'm tending the soil? And am I um, in my body when I'm cooking? um, yeah, just being outside is just so nourishing for me. And I do believe that the rhythms, the practice that I teach, it is a practice of nature.
I was
It's
just going to go there.
Yeah.
Yes, please say more on that.
Well, it's sort of like getting in touch with what really, like, what how a tree grows. Like I can remember once driving to teach, and I was noticing trees growing up and around rocks and different things, but they still would just keep going toward the light. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like people. Like people grow up around rocks, around these things that happen, but they still keep growing, and they still like find light. It doesn't stop them. You know, and it's the dance is organic. It comes from deep, deep inside a person. And however you need to move, like it doesn't matter what it looks like. It just, what is it that you need right now that would nourish you and your body the most? You know, it, and that's the same. Like, what does this plant need? What does this tree need? Does it need to be, in the shade on the hill? Does it need it to be, well drained, or does it need to have more water for its feet? Like, what is it? What is it that they need? What is it that we need? And in each moment.
I like to
Yeah.
connect that to cycles too that are coming up. Thinking about the five rhythms, we're going through cycles, our bodies, nature, plants, the moon, that we experience all these things. We're part of this. And that also that's built into the five rhythms practice with the rhythms, the waves, that it's based off a natural, one of the like most common patterns in nature of the wave is the wave of the dance.